Hi, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Kaylin.
And I guess this is our vlog.
What's a vlog? I don't even know.
A video log. A video blog.
Of what?
It's debatable. We are here to tell you about our journey towards a homestead.
Or just a home.
Lifestyle vlog. Oh, this is squishing me. So, sit up. Don't sit up, and your head gets cut off. So, Kaylin, why don't you tell them how this happened?
Well, I applied to a job.
A year and a half ago.
And I applied to another job. And
a year and 3 months ago.
I applied to another job. And then another job.
Another.
And no one wanted me. It was a sad story.
Yeah.
So I got a job now. And now I'm leaving my current job to go to a new job to where I'm wanted. And that job's at Idaho.
Right now we live in Kansas City, Missouri in a rental on like a, half acre? Like
Quarter acre.
No, it's like a half acre. It's pretty big. But we rent, obviously. So we can't have chickens. We can't have animals. Like, we live in the middle of a city.
We can't paint our own walls.
We can't paint our own walls. We can't build any permanent structures. I built a garden, and it was just 3 raised beds, and I had to rip it all out because we're moving now, and I knew that happened. That's why I only built 3 of them. So how did it start? Do you remember how my homesteading wishes
One day
happened?
you woke up and you wanted chickens, and then from chickens it turned into goats, and then it turned into everything, and then you watch all these weird people every day.
On YouTube. Yeah.
Yep.
So when I was a kid, I wanted a ranch. I just loved horses. I've loved horses since I was 5. Yeah, I still love horses. And I wanted a ranch in Oklahoma because I didn't know what Oklahoma looked like. The dry, open nastiness with all the massive bugs and stuff. So yeah, we drove through Oklahoma on our way here, I think, right?
No.
No?
No.
Okay, well I watched...
Oklahoma's south.
Well, I watched the Oklahoma when the sun shines out. I watched that movie and I was like, I am not moving there. But I don't know. Anyway, when I got into high school, my ranch dream kind of it took the back burner. I mean, you're in high school and you have a lot bigger things to be worrying about than owning a ranch when you grow up. So you just hope that you stay alive through high school. So, and then I think, 3 years ago, right around when Callahan was born, right around when my third kid was born, I started watching homesteading videos on YouTube. The first one I watched was Weed 'em and Reap. And they have a 1 acre property with goats and chickens and now pigs and cats and dogs. And anyway, and then it just kind of escalated from there, and I watched a whole bunch of other homesteading videos, gardening videos. I remember how it started. Right after we moved from Humboldt, California to Pullman, Washington so he could get his master's.
Yep, I'm smart.
And
it does no good, but
And we didn't know anyone. And we had 2 kids, and then we found out we were pregnant with the third. I was pregnant, with the third. And we didn't have anything to do. Humboldt we knew it, we'd lived there for 4 years, and we knew all the cool spots to go to, what we liked to do there, all the outdoorsy stuff. And then we got stuck in this town that we really didn't want to be in the first place, and it was kind of a necessary evil. So I didn't have anything to do. I didn't have any friends. So I got 1 zucchini plant, 2 tomato plants, and I planted some sugar snap peas. That was the extent of my garden. And I had never grown anything before. I'd killed everything. And I still kill houseplants. I can't do houseplants. I kill them. I don't know, they bore me.
And now our room has a grow light, and you got some weird heating pad under your weird seedling things that take over my bedroom.
Yeah. That's why we need our own house, so I don't have to do that anymore. So I started out with those 3 things, and I didn't kill them, and this was like this huge revelation. Woo! And so I was hooked. I was hooked. I was like, I didn't kill them. This is an absolute miracle. I have to figure out how to become a gardener. And so I started watching gardening videos, and that escalated to animal videos. And I just was like, I need chickens. I need chickens. And I've considered, hiding them in my backyard from our rental company and like doing it under their noses, because the little part of Kansas City, Missouri, and the city we live in, is they allow chickens, and they allow, like, if you have a permit, they'll allow stuff like sheep and goats. But yeah, I decided that I'd rather not get kicked out of the rental, even though I was very tempted to get chickens, especially during this COVID crisis, where it's hard to get your hands on any chicken of any kind. So yeah, and here we are. And then what happened, 2 weeks ago?
I applied to a job.
In?
Northern Idaho.
Yeah, and?
I got a job in Northern Idaho.
Yep. The second job offer, technically, that he's gotten. And the first one he got was from an airline, and right before the crisis hit. And so they're like, sorry, we would have hired you, but the crisis. So he's now got like a tech job. His job is all tech, but you got a tech-based job, not like something that rides on, airplanes and,
In a ski resort town.
Yeah. So
with
now
boating and skiing and snowmobiling and mountains and climbing and swimming.
Kansas City has about 500,000 people, you said?
It's half the size of San Diego.
The population is half the size of San Diego, and which I think San Diego is about 1.2 million.
Something like that.
And
the land size is the same.
The land size is the same in Kansas City, but it's half the amount of people. But it's still a big, booming, crowded city. We don't like it.
The store.
We don't like that. When we moved to Humboldt after we turned 18, Humboldt was still quite a bit of people. It was just like a whole clump of towns all together. So it was kind of a small town feel, but it wasn't a small town.
There was no traffic.
There was no traffic. Just small little highways, no freeways. And then when we moved to Pullman, it was even smaller than that. Pullman's about 30,000 people. And it was like ugly. It wasn't what we like. We love green, and we love mountains and forests. And so that was a bummer for us to be in a place like that, where it's like these rolling golden wheat fields and not a whole lot of trees, and you'd have to drive into Idaho for that, which is where we ended up going. Actually, Pullman is 2.5 hours
south
from where we are going to be living. Interestingly enough. When he finished up his master's, the only job, it was hard to get a job right out of college. I don't know why. Everybody tells you to go get all these degrees, and then it's just, it's so hard in this economy. Before even the crisis hit, it was hard to find a job. So the first job he got was here in Kansas City, Missouri, and we had to take it. We didn't want to be out in the Midwest in the Bible Belt, but we're like West Coast hippies, and we got dragged out to the middle of the tornado alley. So, it wasn't fun, but it was necessary, and you got a lot of experience from it. So, but now, and we wanted to move to Oregon. Oregon was our ultimate goal.
It was her ultimate goal.
Okay, my ultimate goal. Excuse me. I love Oregon. He loves Oregon.
I just said I wanted a mountain and lake, and I'd be happy.
He's pretty.
And now I got a mountain and lake.
He's a pretty simple guy. I'm just kidding.
I don't like dirt.
He's super complicated. Anyway, so I really have always wanted to move to Oregon, but with the job search being what it is, I said, okay, let's open up our possibilities. And when he said northern Idaho, I was like, oh, gross, Idaho. We've seen Idaho. Right across the border from Pullman is Idaho. We've been there, and I mean, it was kind of pretty, but it wasn't that green. But then I looked at pictures of northern Idaho. I looked up the climate. I looked up the small town we'd be moving to, which is about 8,000 people, which is a lot less than Pullman even was. It's just 30,000. So this will be the smallest town we've ever lived in. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. We grew up in San Diego, California, and I don't really like the idea of knowing everybody in town, especially if you watch all those small town dramas on TV. They're all up each other's butts and gossiping and being insane, and so, but it's in the middle of nowhere. It's gorgeous country. It's a tourist destination, which has potential for, you know, like if we built a farm stay. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's a new thing that people are trying since everything is so modernized, colonized, and industrialized. People will have farm stay, like an Airbnb, where they make like a little cabin or something on their property with all their animals and let people come stay, and people will pay a ton of money to come stay on a farm. And I think that's hopefully one of the things we'll do to get extra revenue once we move out there. And so that's one of our main priorities, I'd say, after we figure out where we're living, which brings me to our next point.
This lady over here thought she wasn't going to be able to buy a house for like 6-7 years. In tears every month.
1 month ago, you all, I was crying because I was convinced we would never be able to afford to buy a house. We have lived in rentals, let's see.
7.5, 7 years? Almost 7 years?
Almost 8 years?
Almost 8 years.
We've been together for 9 years in July.
Since 2012.
Yeah, we've been on the move like a military family on the move since 2012.
Humboldt was the longest we've ever lived somewhere.
That was 4 years in Humboldt. We lived in 3 different places in Humboldt. We moved to Pullman. We lived in 2 different houses in Pullman. Then we moved here and in this house for 2 years.
We've been here, yeah.
And it's a pretty great house. It's actually way nicer than all our other rentals. But anyway, that's beside the point. I've always wanted to own land. I've always wanted to own animals. And I thought my dreams were never going to come to fruition. That was really hard to think about. And then, by chance, when I heard he got the job, I went on a bunch of moms groups in the area we're moving to.
She's a social butterfly.
I have severe social anxiety, but I'm really good at hiding it. It's especially easy through Facebook, where you can just message people. You don't actually have to talk to them. So I looked up a moms group, and I found the admin of a Northern Idaho moms group, and I messaged her, and I was just asking about like the area's best schools for our kids. And I just happened, she mentioned she's a real estate agent. I don't remember why she said that, but I came back to her later, like, just completely, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
No.
On a wistful whim. On a wistful whim, I asked her, I said, you're in real estate, right? Can you connect me with somebody that might be able to see if we could qualify to buy a house? Now, understand, we have so much debt from his 6 years in college, and it's sucky. So, but our credit is pretty good because we pay stuff off. So yeah, I messaged her, and she goes, oh, guess what? I'm a loan officer. And I didn't even know what that was. I was like, what's that? She goes, well, I can pre-approve you for a loan to buy a house. And I was like, this is awesome. And it's free. Like, wow. Okay, do it. Go for it. And she came back and said, I can pre-approve you up to this amount of money, $325,000. And I went, are you serious? This cannot possibly be a thing.
What's a thing?
We qualify for that kind of a loan. That's crazy. It seemed like such an impossibility. And she said, here's all the real estate agents I recommend. So we looked through the list, and we looked through all the houses on Zillow and Realtor and all those places to see if there were any houses that fit that budget and that we really liked.
There was quite a few.
Yeah, and there was also quite a few real estate agents she recommended to us. So we looked them all up, and we picked one, and she gave us all these listings, and we did pro and cons lists, sorted it all out, and settled on a house.
We knew nothing about buying a house, FYI. I didn't even know what escrow was. I didn't even know what any of this crap was.
I'd heard of escrow, but I didn't know what
None of it made sense. Even when you Googled it, it didn't make sense. And now we're like experts.
You're an expert. I'm just like, I just know the bare basics. He's the one who's been sitting on the computer Googling for hours. I'm just sitting over here like, gee, I wonder how many chickens I can get. And I would do this to the house and this to the house and this to the house. And I'm just freaking out.
We've had so many obstacles.
We have.
And we've overcame every one so far.
We have. It's been a hard year. It's been a really hard year. There's a death in my family. I got diagnosed with chronic illness too, autoimmune disorder. So, it's, rough year. He's been trying for, like we said, a year and a half to find a job. His job was not paying him what he should be being paid with his degree and his expertise and his intelligence. That last part's just me saying he's freaking genius, and I don't understand why they're not paying him enough. And we just kept getting told by family that there's something really great coming. There's something really great coming. We just know it. We just feel it. And I used to be a really negative kind of person too. I was always Eeyore. I didn't believe that. I just like to be negative. I didn't want to be positive about stuff until we moved to Pullman, and I realized I needed to be positive, or I was just going to be like a little ball of depression forever. So we just stayed positive for a year and a half, and it has paid off, people. This is an amazing opportunity, and we're buying a freaking house. We are in escrow right now. And by the way, that loan officer, when she got a call from the real estate agent that we had settled on a house, she messaged me and she goes, I'm not legally allowed to tell you who to take on as a real estate agent. So I sent you a list of the people I've worked with and that I think are good, and you picked the lady I wanted you to pick. It's just like puzzle pieces falling down into place, and it's incredible, and it's amazing, and it was worth the wait, it was worth the positivity, it was worth all the emotional trauma, the emotional perseverance that we went through. It's been really character building, even though it sucked. And now we are about to have a house. It's a huge house, like
2,400 square feet.
2,400 square feet, 4-bedroom,
2.5 bath.
2.5 bath house on 20 freaking acres for under $3,325. How did this happen? I don't know. But we are so close. We close May 14th.
Yeah, May 14th.
If everything goes well.
We leave next Wednesday to live in an Airbnb for 19 days.
So we found out that we were moving this April 2nd. And we have to be out in northern Idaho by the 27th, which is his first day of work. So we are packing up 3 kids, 2 dogs,
a bird,
a parrot, and ourselves, all of the kids' junk, and moving out to northern Idaho
All while trying to buy a home.
Trying to buy a home that we've never even seen in person before.
But it's 20 acres. What more do you want?
Yeah, like you cannot ask for anything better than that. It's so...
The only caveat that comes with all of this is there's 80 inches of snow a year.
Ooh.
It's going to be a gnarly winter.
Gross.
Those poor chickens.
But we did grow up in San Diego, like we said, so we don't hate snow as much as people who have grown up in it and sat in it for years. And, you know, it's still new and fun to us because we've only been in the snow for 4 years now.
It makes summer more fun.
It does. It makes you appreciate things more for sure. Definitely more appreciative. So, follow us along in our journey. We have 7 days left before we move.
You need to teach
across the U.S. again. And believe you me, it's going to be gnarly in this COVID crisis. Trying to find places to stay. Trying to stay safe and not get sick.
Screaming kids.
Screaming kids.
More
a car full of dogs. And the fact that we have celiac disease and we cannot just stop at McDonald's and get something to eat. We can't even stop at Starbucks anymore because Starbucks, I can't drink it. It's too unsafe for me to drink it anymore. So we have to have a cooler, and we're going to stay in a log cabin in a KOA, and it's going to be a crazy adventure, so please join us for the ride. Thank you for being here. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. I think that's what you're supposed to do. So yeah, we'll see you on the flip side.